Hello everyone, I am Dylan Del Rio and I will now present my GLIT PH synthesis. While I was reading the courses I had to take for the term, to be honest, GLIT PH was not a remarkable subject that had crossed my eyes since I had my sights set on major subjects related to civil engineering. I thought of it as a minor subject that I only had to go through as a GE for enlisting the right amount of units for the term. I guess my view of the literature subject was skewed because of my past experiences in junior high school, where it was mostly just a repetition of learning the figures of speech or figurative language lessons over and over again, just simply adding more complex terms to memorize and understand. However, my view of literature gradually changed as I progressed through the weeks of studying different materials and watching various films of the state and landscape of literature in our country. The many stories and discussions that I had with my classmates and my teacher in the classroom or even online helped me see another side of literature, not solely on its technical aspects, but in a sense, a deeper understanding of the purpose and meaning of literature to how we see ourselves and the Filipino culture in general. So, in this video blog, I will discuss my takeaways from each module, from my class lectures and learning materials, as well as from other related activities, and overall, reflect on how GLIT PH has contributed to my holistic development as an individual and member of the society. So, for my takeaways from the module, let's start with Module 1, Traditional Subversion. My first takeaway is that stories are vessels of our rich cultural heritage. So, Philippine literature began not with pen and paper, but with the voices of the people. Everything started with the passing of stories through word of mouth, and in turn, carrying within these tales are their dreams, fears, and beliefs which leave a constant, lasting impact on the next generations, influencing how they perceive and believe things. I think that I could relate to this since I also now pass some stories of scary mythological creatures or old deities that I once thought were real but are only fictional to my younger family members just to scare them or have fun with them. I think that these moments are proof that old legends or folk tales are not just simple stories, but they are also vessels and like a testament of our own culture. My next takeaway is that aswangs are real. So, like, beyond these tales, there are meanings that are of constant relation to the events that are currently happening in Philippine society. In a narrowed perspective, every folk tale has within them a potential to have subversion. So, consequently, this is what I have seen from the tales of the aswang. The myth warns of deception and greed, themes that resonate within what is currently happening in the Philippines, where corruption and fraud are seen as normal within the system. Little did we know that a hideous creature can be used to challenge the structure of the government the country has at present, where ghost projects are seen but officials are held unaccountable for their actions just because they are capable of paying themselves out of justice. So who knew that aswangs are real? I hope that they just disappear so that everyone can live a better and proper life because I believe that we deserve a better system than we have right now. And for my third takeaway is that how tradition is or how tradition has evolved now in modern media. So the ways we have told our stories have evolved, but the need to preserve storytelling has not changed. May it be through mouth or online, the methods for delivering stories have evolved throughout the years, but I believe they all have one commonality. Telling any tale, no matter how it is presented, contributes to the identity of a person. So, our culture is diverse because of the different stories that exist within the whole archipelago. Like every island has another version of one story. But I can say that I am proud to have learned some of these stories because they help me shape my own views of what it is to be a Filipino. And that ends my takeaways for the first module. For the second module, The Nation and Beyond. So, my first takeaway is that how big of an impact is a single story. So, I often wonder how much of what I believe about other people, races, or nations are true, but are really only of incomplete narratives. I also often wondered how one story can shape my understanding of others fully. And Adichie's talk in TED was somewhat important for helping me realize that prejudice is truly nonsensical. How could we have a negative view towards something without knowing the whole story? I believe that the video can really open our eyes as to how we should approach individuals in society, so that we should not judge them by our first impression, but by knowing them first fully. And for my second takeaway, I wonder like how many single stories have shaped our history. So we can recall like throughout history, there are times where we often fall traps of having to know only what was shared, but never what was truly behind the events that really occurred during those moments. So I think I could relate to this because one example from my experience is from the American colonization of the Philippines, where I thought that what they were doing was really for the betterment of the nation, but because of the reforms that they did. But in fact, the system that they had implemented during their stay in the country had a hidden objective, which is to strengthen their influence and deepen the Philippines' dependence onto them. So, moreover, there are many other individuals who may only know the shallow parts. So, those of knowledge must also guide them to the deep parts of what they truly want to know. And for my third takeaway is that from this model is that empathy always goes a long way. So, Adichie's speech helped me realize the power of the stories we tell and believe. It has consequences and it can divide us. As a student and citizen, I have to learn to break free from these traps by developing my awareness of the assumptions I make and to be open to listen to narratives I have yet to understand. So, empathy always goes a long way, and I think we can reduce the stereotypes in our society through kind understanding and compassion towards our peers. That is all for my takeaways of the second module. For the third module, Body and Desire, my first takeaway is to always remain vigilant and to never trust someone too easily. I picked the story of Magnificence by Australia D. Alphon for this module. And personally, I thought the story was that of another theme, something not too serious and dark as compared to what I had read. So I initially expected that it would be about glory or triumph in a battle, similar to how epics or other stories I have read, but I was mistaken by the flow and plot of the story. So the short story shows us the importance of never giving your full trust to someone whom you just met, for they may have an underlying intent behind their kind gestures. I think this just helped me realize why my parents or why my other older relatives tell me to never let anyone inside the house unless I know them well. And this was during when I was young, so I think it still applies until now. And this applies to everyone in general. It could jeopardize the safety and security of the household, and it can entirely be avoided, which is the opposite of what really happened in the story. So my second takeaway is the delicacy of our innocence. So Vicente, the one character in the story, so his actions were inappropriate and beyond inhumane. But unfortunately, what Vicente did is something that occurs in reality. So the little girl, trusting Vicente because of his kind actions and intentions towards her, unknowingly falls into his other malicious purpose. So whenever I watch the news, I always see cases of rape or molesting almost every day. Therefore, I think that Vicente depicts the dark side of modern society, and the daughter shows, or the daughter represents the innocent people who are affected by the wrongdoings of others. From this, I think that literature really has a connection to what is happening in the world. And for my third takeaway, a mother's love is the greatest. So, after finding out what Vicente had done with her daughter, the mother drove him out of their home by slapping him very hard. And she mustered up the courage to protect her family from the evil presence of her visitor. So the mother, without hesitation, burned all of what had been present with her child during Vicente's stay, namely her dress, which he touched, and the pencils which he gifted. I thought that this was a smart move by the mother because it would delete any trace of the trauma that brought fear and confusion to her daughter. Moreover, I believe that this is how mothers really care and love their children fully. In my experience, nothing can ever replace a mother's love, and that is why I deeply resonate and relate to the story of Alphon, who carefully created a realistic reflection of how mothers are depicted in Philippine culture. So that ends my takeaways from the three modules. Next, I will discuss the other lecture materials that we had discussed in class. So first are the elements of fiction. So honestly, I learned a lot from this lecture. I thought that before knowing about these elements, authors or writers would just use their imagination without following any established guidelines or standards when creating their pieces. Little did I know that they were actually using techniques like suspension of disbelief, the reliability of the characters, points of view, and other elements. I had no idea that these existed before the discussion, and now, whenever I read a story or watch a film, I get to notice these details that I never thought of before. So right now, I feel like I can critique and analyze a film better with all that I got to know from the elements that were taught, making the pieces more enjoyable to watch now. Secondly, is the hero's journey. So I thought that the hero's journey is just how a superhero's life story simply goes, like how he suddenly gets powers, explores his powers, saves people, and beats up the villains and bad guys. When it comes to literature, however, I was wrong. There are stages to what the main character experiences in a story. I watched the Amazing Spider-Man movie, or also like the local adaptation of Spider-Man, like Gagamboy, and surprisingly, I could recall some of the stages from the movie, which is weird because I normally do not pay close attention to the specific details in a character's journey, but rather to the whole plot itself. So I get to do something new once I read or watch how the main character moves through their own story. And third is the mystery box game. The mystery box game was really memorable for me because we were down the whole game. Like we had negative points, and I thought that we did not have a chance to save ourselves throughout most of the duration of the contest. So I remember trying to answer the questions because it was a review of all the lessons that had been discussed in the previous lecture. So we had negative 25 points at the last question of the game, and my seatmate was the one assigned to answer the question. Thankfully, I knew the answer, and I whispered to her ear, and she was the first to stand up and gave her answer to Sir. So I was overjoyed that we were able to win the 200 points, and we were able to snag the second spot and earn plus 4 additional bank points. So Other than that, I was very happy and I had a good review from the game itself. And for the third main question, how do you see your learning and insights from GDPH contributing to your development as an individual and member of society even after your academic life in DMSU? So, to be honest, I think what I have learned from GLIT-PH will stay within me even after I surpass college life. After all, I acquired a whole new perspective on how to view stories or films and not simply looking into a piece as it is. Like somehow, literature is not just literally about writing what you imagine, but also about relating what's happening outside the pages of the book to the story itself, to the story you want to make. And I think that's what makes literature unique. Similar to how poems, stories, and films that I have watched over the course of the term, it has empowered change within me by helping me open my eyes wider so as to what I can do to make myself better and to help the society at large. So moreover, literature is entirely different from my course of civil engineering where math and physics are in control of almost every space of my mind. So having to learn literature at a deeper level is something refreshing to learn other than the logical aspects of things that are always applied through numbers. So literature gave me a break from the somehow emotionless field of mathematics and in turn provided a new taste to my studies, other than the advanced lessons on force and motion or differentials and integrals. So from this, my takeaway is that GDPH is not just a normal literature subject where you need to read expert excerpts from books or listen to lines in movies just to pass the course. It's about taking part in the community and reinforcing the appropriate changes within the system advocated by literature so as to create a better environment for everyone. And most importantly, whether in my future career or everyday life, GLPH has helped me develop my awareness of my role in helping shape a more understanding and less stereotypical world. Next is the optional takeaway. So the local Filipino movie I had to watch was Meet, Greet, and Goodbye. So I watched the movie today. It's November 15, 2025. I watched it mid-afternoon at a nearby mall. And I noticed there were a lot of people in line and waiting to enter the theater for the new film release. So I the audience had a wide age range, and I assume that the movie is for all generations, and I was correct. So after watching the whole movie, I realized a lot of things. So the film is all about family, all the ups and downs that goes through in each member and everyone as a whole. So we ourselves must understand that every member is carrying their own burdens, wherein they have to soak up all their hardships by themselves so as not to concern the other. And I think that as a family, it is important to share the struggle together. It is very difficult if one decides to go by themselves and solve all of their family's problems. In the end, you will still run back to them. Even though at times you may fight, it is still important to maintain a good relationship with them and stitch up the wounds that may have formed from your quarrels. So the movie showed how normal flaws are in the family, and that is what makes our own families very beautiful. And most importantly, again, I think the movie showed how a mother's love is the greatest, how she cares for her children, and how her children care and love her in return is already part of our culture as Filipinos. When we are sick, our moms would always rush to cure us from our sicknesses. And as our own mothers grow, I think it is natural to take care of her, not because we are indebted to her, but because of our love and admiration for the sacrifices she made for us to live the life that we want. So the movie made me appreciate my mom more and what she has done so that I am where I am today. And so, recalling everything that I went through in this course, I honestly thought GLPH would not have much of an impact personally. What I imagined was we were just going to submit essays or critiques on stories or films given to us by our teacher, or like have so much readings and requirements that have no connection whatsoever to civil engineering. Well, I realized over time that this subject has a significant impact on who I am to become as an individual and as a civil engineer, on how I approach particular challenges and issues that I may encounter in the future. Furthermore, by becoming aware of the responsibility that comes with learning what has been taught to me, I somewhat am becoming more concerned with what is happening to my country. Something I did not give much attention to because at a personal level, I have slowly lost hope in the development of my own nation. But GLIT PH taught me not to settle, and instead improve my perspectives and help me see things with more clarity. Because after all, literature is a mirror of the society we live in, and I want to see myself contribute to its betterment. And that's all for my synthesis blog. Thank you for listening.